we're going to talk about cannabis. It's a very local topic, and I think very relevant to a lot of the people listening in front of us. There's interest, there's skepticism, there's a lot of walls that need to be broken down, barriers, correct?
Yes.
I'm sure you deal with it on a daily basis.
Lots of curiosity.
So I want to break the ice here. This morning, I actually used a plant medicine extract.
And how do you feel?
I feel great.
Good. Feel clear?
Yes, and don't worry, folks, the show will go on. It's all good. Bianca's going to tell you a little bit more about the extract that I did use called CBD.
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 Yes. So the full name is cannabidiol, which is why we shorten it to CBD. But it's found in this cannabis plant, and it's actually called a cannabinoid. So a cannabinoid is this compound very unique to this plant, and there are actually over 100 of these found. And we're really focused on this one, a more well-known one. You guys might know THC. That's kind of the reason we're here is this plant got so popular because of this reason, but now we're finding CBD has all these medical benefits. So it's here, and it's ready to be researched. We're ready to understand this complex.
So this morning when I used my CBD, it was in full understanding that I was here to perform at a higher level.
Yes.
It was not to sedate. It was not to alter my mental capacity. It was actually so I could perform at a higher level. So tell us more about how that CBD actually works inside my body.
So CBD is very much non-psychoactive, as a lot of us have heard. It's very opposite of THC in that it reacts very differently within the body. It reacts on what's called an endocannabinoid system. And what that is a system of receptors. They're receptors located in the brain, in the gut, in the peripheral body. And what it is, it's this messenger system. It's a way for your body to communicate with itself so that it regulates things like your mood, your sleep. It can regulate things like appetite, all of these things coming together from this one supplement almost. It's like an enhancement.
It's a balancing of sorts, right, within the body. This endocannabinoid system that you speak of,
yes,
we're born with this, correct?
We are born with this. It's something that regulates something like serotonin, right? Like how happy you are. It's something that can be upregulated. It's something that we are playing with. Like all these pharmaceuticals are coming in. They're mimicking these drugs that we have naturally. But what we want to do with CBD is to just enhance what we already have.
Right, and I think everyone in this room has probably experienced their own form of endocannabinoid activity, right? So like whether you work out, you go for a run, you get that runner's high, and you feel blissful, euphoric. In the past, we've actually thought that was more of the adrenaline hit or some kind of other neurochemical. But it might actually turn out that it's these endocannabinoid receptors that were...
It is. The firing of these endocannabinoid receptors. We've got two different systems. One is called CB1, located in the brain. The other one, CB2, is located more in the gut. And the firing of these two systems is actually what manipulates all the chemicals in our body, giving us that runner's high, giving us that like relaxed feeling that we sometimes crave when we are a little bit anxious.
So a lot of people ask, why do you exercise, or what do you do to de-stress? And they tell me it's to exercise, and it may be for achieving this sort of state that we're talking about, right?
It could be.
Yeah. So I've divulged that yes, I am using plant medicine as we speak. I actually use it daily, and another sort of deeper use for it, which is I have struggled with anxiety in the past. This is my weak spot, right? Like we all have our weak spot. That would be mine. So when the to-do list gets piled up and everything seems overwhelming, I don't perform at my best. So using some plant medicines, I can reassess my to-do list. It looks way shorter, way more doable. I'm in a better mental state to achieve that. So why don't you tell us why you use plant medicine?
Yeah, so it's amazing. Like this one cannabinoid can affect us in so many ways. Like it's got this anti-inflammatory property, which is what my personal use is. Like, my headaches get really bad. They turn into migraines. I've spent years resorting to ibuprofen, which over time you don't realize you're slowly increasing this dose. I mean, what are my kidneys, what are my liver going to look like in a few more years?
Yeah.
But like switching to this anti-inflammatory alternative, I feel a lot better. Like, I feel a lot more stable. I feel clear. But I mean, at the same time, it's also working as an antioxidant, right? As an anti-anxiety, all to balance out our body. So it's really not one like medicine that you can be like, I'm going to take this dose, I'm going to take this, and it's only going to cure my headache. You know, like, we could be doing the same thing right now, but for you, calming that anxiety, for me, lifting the fuzz of my head.
Right. You also have some family members that are using these plant medicines.
I do.
So do I. And apparently, my dad says he's getting smarter. I don't know if it's working. He says it does.
That calming effect can actually decrease the neural noise in your brain. We're all thinking about a million things going on in our lives, in our personal lives, and our work lives. It kind of loses focus on what you really want to do in those daily tasks. So maybe in that sense, he's more focused on each individual task.
Yeah, we definitely focus on the neural noise previous to our chat. And that's sort of that adult ADD tendency that we have, right?
Yep.
We've been now trained to be multitaskers.
I think so.
Deeply ingraining this attention issue, right?
I think we like to tell ourselves we can multitask, but really you're splitting this focus. So I think really zoning in on one task at a time is really the best way, and maybe that's why your dad feels smarter.
Obviously, this area of science is extremely, extremely youthful and young. There's a long ways to go before we fully understand what these other 100 cannabinoids are doing, and there may even be more. But can you enlighten us a little bit as to like what the near future looks like for CBD research or cannabis research?
Yeah, so this cannabinoid is interacting with us so personally. Like, we all fire at a very different level of serotonin, for example. It's what creates our personalities. It's what makes us react differently. So what I see is a breakdown of more of a cannabinoid profile. Like, we're going to be able to say, like, a little bit more on dosing. We're going to be able to combine the cannabinoids of this plant, you know, with other terpenes and with other flavors to really dial in and really say, like, no, like, this combination is geared to headaches because it's a little bit more anti-inflammatory.
Right.
Like, this combination is geared to insomnia and depression. So we're really getting down to like each and individual component of it, creating this one profile.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and the research is coming. Like, it's in this really interesting growth stage where we can finally understand, we can break it down, we can do the clinical trials needed. So it's all up and coming.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me on stage.
Thank you for having me.
This is a great way to talk about this very controversial subject. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.